I know a lot of people that call themselves servant leaders. I know that you're very dedicated to that, but I think it's one of those things that mean lots of different things to lots of different people. So can you talk about what it means to be a servant leader in general and what it means to you to be a servant leader?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a short question, but a super layered question. If we wanted to go into what is a servant leader, then I can hand you Robert Greenleaf's book, Servant Leadership, the original, that kind of started that thought process. And we can go over the textual examples to explain what it means to me. It started with my uncle, who I mentioned. He was, to me, the very definition of a servant leader, almost to a point of self-sacrifice, almost on the brink of martyrdom. He would work hard. He's a smart man, but he would ratchet up that effort level, intensity, and passion for others more than he would ever do for himself. That I saw in my years with him create such loyalty. There's always a balance to everything. He was a person who would, again, sacrifice himself for the people. He would look at it more as giving them opportunity than starting a business for personal gain. I don't know where he got that from, but I grew up with him. He's always been a mentor and an influence on my life, but I guarantee he's where my mindset came from. And as I discovered the term servant leadership and the materials or whatever, how you do it, that's where it comes from. You know, I think after that, for me, I think it's time sometimes. I've survived the entrepreneurial cycle for long enough that I've witnessed firsthand the purpose side. I'll tell every one of our dealers, purpose requires profit. Remember that phrase. But the purpose side of it is far more gratifying. It's really hard to filter things through a prism of servant leadership when you're struggling financially. Really difficult to do that. So I think just the time and how time shapes us, that's helped me develop this mindset and reinforce it year after year. I think the fact that my children have grown up as I've grown up through business, I think that's amplified it because that turbocharges my desire to put service right at the center of everything in our business, not just to be an example to them, but to teach them in case they'd ever want to entrepreneur. And even if they wouldn't want to be a business owner, I personally believe that the traits that it takes to become a successful business owner and entrepreneur, especially small businesses, I think those are the traits that all young people should aspire to, because I think it prepares them for life, not only for them, for the greater good. And I actually think the world would be better if every human being had to start and run a small business for a certain time. I don't think you can say I started out to be a servant leader. I think that would be disingenuous. Every day for me makes me more and more want to think of in terms of that service mentality. All the cliches, if you give, you get back twofold, fivefold, or whatever, they're all true. They're just so very difficult to see when you're a young entrepreneur because you're going through that struggle. Those things are what it means to me. I'm talking about the spirit of service. If it's at the center of what you do, all the things you can gain back and keep paying forward.